All right. So this, hello, hi, Sunny.
Hey Guy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hi, April. My
Hi,
goodness,
Guy.
I'm amazed this actually worked. I'm here,
Technology, it's a wild place.
I'm just getting familiar with Zoom. So I'm thrilled that we're on here and I won't keep you for long. What I'm going to do
Sure.
is just move through these important questions, and I'm recording this for my group, so my team, so they can look at this and they'll get their questions answered as well. Let me just bring
Okay.
up the documents
And
section.
Guy, can you ground me? You're the group leader, correct?
Yes,
Cool.
and it's called
Okay.
the Thrive All Community Project. It's just near Port Loring, Ontario, which is near Parry Sound.
Oh, wonderful.
So we're right in the
Cool.
middle here. Hold on, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, I just thought I would show you. Can you? Oh, I haven't done share screen yet, so let me do that. Do that. And sorry, it's going to be a messy screen for a minute.
Oh, wow.
So I thought I'd start by showing you. This is the cottage I'm in right now, and this is what the snow is like here. Can you see
Such a
that?
different reality than where I am right now.
My goodness.
And I took this picture looking out the bedroom window. This is like a collection of Precambrian shield rocks and things. I really like this shape, and it's giving me ideas for the dining hall we might build, sort of take some shape ideas for a roof line off of these swales of the rock, which are very common here. Anyway, let me get to the documents. So I just scraped this out of the project material for our graduation project, and
Okay.
we had a meeting on Monday, yesterday at
Mhm.
11 o'clock EST time, which all of our group members are usually able to make that time. So that's a huge help. Um,
Perfect. Yeah, that's key.
so we were very lucky with that. So what I did is we were talking about all of these terms, these numbered terms, and I want to go over some of them with you quickly. But just so you know, we noticed that at the end of the document, it said, make sure that your project addresses these 7 components, and there's 7 of us. So we thought, well, we'll
Hmm.
give us the lead on one of these items here, which seemed
Yep.
like a nice way to divvy it up. And
Hmm.
one of our members said, well, why don't we have each person is the lead on one, but a secondary on another one, kind of like a sous chef, she called it, which
That
I,
feels probably good to support each other in that sense.
yeah, and we've already got someone who's savvy with Google Docs and all that.
Hmm.
That up.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so, okay, the client interview we already did, and I'm just typing it up, and I also recorded it. Observation list, I don't have a problem with that. Base map of existing conditions and site assessment, I think we understand that. Diagram,
And Guy, those don't like you can absolutely use tech ones, but if there's someone in your group that's artsy and feels excited about drawing a map, like you're also able to do that. So this is like your project to really
yeah,
use the skills of your group. So I just wanted to put that little plug in there.
yeah, I appreciate that because I'm going to do my best to get a satellite image of the whole site. We do have a satellite
Hmm.
image of the lower half of the site, which is the most important. So
Oh, great.
I'm going to go up there and do more video. And yeah, we may end up sort of having to guesstimate exactly where some of the contours are and what have you. But
Okay.
appreciate that comment. Um, okay, so the first question I had, will be quick here, is number 5, boundaries and limiting factors. Can you
Hmm.
just clarify, is that as simple as what are the property edges? But but I didn't know what limiting factors was. And I want to clarify this
Yep.
stuff so that we're working toward the end result that Ecoversity wants us, and not screwing up and going, oh, we misunderstood what that term was. And
Yeah.
we waste a
No,
bunch.
totally. And I made the design activity guides, which is why I was like, why don't April and I hop on with you before Penny and Steven? Because I worked with them,
Yeah.
but I created them.
Okay.
So with the boundaries and limiting factors, what that means is it does in fact mean like physically what the boundaries are, but it also means like what are some boundaries of the client. So one of the limiting factors might be finances. So they might, they might not have a big budget. Another limiting factor is I have land here and it's on a ridge. So for me, limiting factor, it's like getting around for mobility for people that probably have disabilities. That would be something I need to take into consideration. So just things that might impact your land that just limit something. So it could be maybe there's no sun. It's okay, there's not a ton of sun. How are we going to grow food? What kind of plants do we need to use? So really just listing out anything that's kind of like giving you a little bit of a setback, almost like any of the problems that you can make into solutions.
Would that also include like permitting and zoning?
Absolutely. So those are some of the boundaries. So just as we were talking about in the natural building class just now, like some places it's not legal to do certain things, that would be a boundary.
I see. Okay.
Does
Well,
that clear that up for you?
yeah, that's excellent. Thank you.
Cool.
That gives
Uh-huh.
a lot of clarity around that. Okay, and I understand number 6. That's pretty straightforward. It sounds like resources and capacity is almost
It's
picking
similar.
up similar to number 5. So I'm going to assume that would include like the financial resources, the timber that's on the land already that may have utility or a value. The capacity of the ground would be like, could it handle, you could plant crops on it, or in this case, probably not, because it's a rocky forest and blah, blah, blah. Is there anything else you could say about
Yep.
number 7, just so we really
Yep.
understand?
One thing I want to add is capacity is human capacity. And also like the capacity of the builder. So I know in certain locations, depending on the time of year, you can't build.
Right.
There's not ways to get to the road. So what's your time capacity, both human time and time for the project to actually be worked on? So like really what is the capacity of the whole system? Because when you think about permaculture, you really are looking at it from all lenses.
Right.
So yeah, just really
Okay,
stitching like
yeah,
what is the capacity
that's
and the capacity of like let's say I don't know, it sounds like you're the client, but if you weren't the client, what's the capacity of the client? Like are they able to meet once a week? Are they not in the area and only able to come and have meetings once a month? So just really thinking through all the
okay.
aspects.
That's useful. And yeah, I'm actually not the client. My friend Dee Dee
Oh,
is
cool.
the site
Great.
owner. So
Mhm.
even though we're not charging her, we're treating her as if she had hired us, kind of thing.
Sure. That's
And yeah,
wonderful.
and she is quite available, but you're right. And for example, she's not planning to, other than a couple of visits, she's not going to do anything until the spring when the snow melts. So that
Exactly.
would be a capacity and limiting factor. Okay, water
Hmm.
report. I'm going to assume that the water thing goes beyond just the narrow thing of roof catchment, because that may or may not apply depending on what kind of design we come up with. But there definitely would be water issues over the whole property. We have to drill down deep through the Precambrian
Well,
Shield
water.
to hit the water table. We have a beaver pond on the property. We have a stream and a marsh area. So water would include all of that, right? Plus the rainfall and snowfall.
Yeah, and we add the roof catchment on there just because sometimes it's just people don't remember or they're kind of intimidated by it. So we also put that there as like we're like, okay, if you're doing roof catchment, like you do need to factor that in there because that is
Right.
a slightly intimidating feature. But yeah, any of the like how you're gonna get water on the system, you do put that in there. So you list what are the needs, what are the resources that you have there, and what are the resources for um getting the water from those places.
Yeah, okay, excellent. And then finally, the plant list is obvious. The
Mhm.
economics, just
Yeah, this is always a
scope that a
tough
little more.
one.
Yeah,
This is always a tough one, and it's interesting because we don't go too deep into the economics in the class. So this is really what you can come up with. So if you guys can come up with a general budget, and again, this is all this is what you're able to get for this course. So let's say your friend Dee Dee does have a budget and she gives you that information, then you can work with that a little bit about the economics. And it's really just mapping out like a general high level overview. So if you're going to do like a 5-year plan, just give like, predict that it'll cost X for this stage.
Right. Okay. Well, and actually,
And you don't need to do too much research in like this plant costs this much at this size, like really just
okay. Well, and
wide range,
actually,
yeah.
Dee Dee, the client, she has ideas because she's following the Ubuntu philosophy, and she wants like they'll have businesses where, let's say, somebody suggests to the community, okay, we're going to tap the maple trees and we're going to make our own brand of Thrive All maple syrup, say. And then whoever has the idea gets 15% ongoing commission. And then, but the whole community would share in that particular business.
Exactly. And keep it, and those economics are also part of this. Yeah, like if you have an apiary and you're selling honey, stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know that there's an existing building at the front of the property that's an old farmhouse, and they're eventually going to turn that into like for people who offer treatments for health and wellness who come to visit, as well as community members. So that could have an economics. Okay, well, listen, you've been very generous with your time. Thank you. That brings a lot of clarity. So we'll track back if we have more questions, but I will share this video with the team. And now we know kind of what we're up to. And it seems like all the members have found an area of interest without anyone feeling that they're not getting to work on what they like. So we're off to a good start here.
That's perfect. It sounds like you're doing a really good job managing. And if you have any questions, like it's an intimidating process. We're happy to help. April, did I leave anything else that you want to add? I know you've been through this more recently than I.
I mean, the thought I had about boundaries and limiting factors versus resources and capacity. Boundaries and limiting factors, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like what you don't have, and resources and capacity is what you do have.
Yep.
Right.
Perfect.
Perfectly
put.
Yeah. And just have fun. Remember to have, it's all just fun.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And I really love the backup system, the sous chef.
Yeah.
I wish we did that in my group.
Me too.
Way back when.
I mean, we ended up doing it at the last minute because we had people drop out at the last minute. So yeah, good job.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next class, and we'll keep in touch on Discord. All right.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
We'll see you next
Thank you,
Tuesday night,
guys.
Guy. Have a good one. Good luck with your group.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.